Welcome back to another episode of Utah Homes HQ. Jake McIntyre with Kelly Wright Real Estate. Hey, this episode is not going to really be about real estate. It's going to be about some cool real estate in the form of ski resorts. Just last night, it's October 26th, and we had a pretty good storm. Winter is kind of really moving in when we got a bunch of snow. I'm going to show you, kind of what we're looking at that way. So this is for skiers. Utah, the greatest snow on earth. A ski magazine just published the top 30 resorts in the West. Now, I would be surprised if this list really influences people's decisions on where to go skiing, but it's just kind of fun to be able to talk about some of our local resorts right here in Weber County that made the top 1 and 2 spots. In fact, I'm looking at one of them right now outside of my office window. I'll get to that in just a second. I'm going to blast through this list and touch on resorts that I've been to and just give a couple of insights. And then I'm going to focus on the ones that are right here in my backyard and talk them up a little bit. If you have questions about coming into this area and skiing these resorts, feel free to reach out to me. Now, I'm not the world's greatest skier, but I will ski pretty much anything. I'm not saying I'll make it look good, but I can go there. And I've really spent some time in the last few years improving equipment and just going for it. And I have a really good time doing that. So, couple things real quick. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate that. I'm not wearing a robe, but it looks like I am. This is my Jazz hoodie, which the Jazz just got beat up on game 1 last night of the season. But this is a hoodie with that big collar. It looks good, except right now. And I didn't take that into account before filming this. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So let's just jump right into this. So, top 30 resorts in the West. I'll, of course, include this link to this article. But let's just jump right into it. I have not skied. I've had multiple plans to go skiing in Colorado, but I haven't done it. COVID is to blame when we had our Colorado ski trip scheduled. So we'll skip over a few of these things. Heavenly Ski Resort. I did ski there a couple years ago. It is beautiful. Beautiful view of Lake Tahoe. I wouldn't mind skiing there on like maybe a mid-week day. It's closer to the Bay Area with all the ski resorts that are around Tahoe, which I think there are about 13. This is right on that southern end of it, and boy, does it fill up. It was like playing dodgeball on skis. We didn't spend the whole day there. It was way too crowded. The snow was fine, perfectly blue skies, but we were dodging, bobbing and weaving. People did not care about stopping and hanging out in the middle of runs. So beautiful, yes. My favorite, definitely not. Not been there. Back more Colorado stuff. Palisades, Tahoe. This is a really neat ski resort. Our Airbnb cabin, which was one of the coziest things I've ever stayed in, I would go back just to stay there. But the vibe of the area, the trees, the resort was really cool. Now, this was a couple years ago when they had like 16 feet of snow at the beginning of the season, like in December, and then it didn't snow for months. It was the same thing here in Utah as well. And so when we got there, that snow had really compressed, and there was a lot of area that was just not open. It had all compressed and was just an icy block, and so it was just a groomer time. But it was fun. It was really fun. Known for the Olympics. Obviously, it used to be known as Squaw Valley. They changed the name to Palisades Tahoe. I'm fine with the name change, but the Palisades Tahoe thing, I don't know, whatever. Not my responsibility to come up with those names, but this was cool. Really liked the vibe of the place. Getting there from Reno, quick flight to Reno, and then a beautiful drive out of Reno. Sorry, Reno people, not a real beautiful city. but it becomes beautiful very quickly as you go up into the mountains. Would definitely go again. Louise Whistler would like to go. Crested Butte, we were going to go, and then COVID restrictions in Colorado were just too much to bear, so we canceled the whole thing. I've been to Beaver Creek in the off season. Beautiful, highly developed restaurants. The skiing looks like it could be a lot of fun. Tons of residential real estate. But yeah, that highway going through that canyon, I can see why that would be a pain in the butt to deal with. Very narrow, very steep. Nowhere to escape if the weather gets bad. Okay, the first Utah ski resort, Brighton. I had never been there until this last year. I had an Icon Pass last year. I really like Brighton. It's got a small, homey feel to it. Getting the Cottonwood Canyons, fantastic skiing, pain in the butt to get up there, especially when there's been a big storm, which is what you want to go up there. But the parking is difficult. The parking is really difficult. So you've got to be well planned. I think you have to have a reservation. There's just not a lot of parking. But it is a neat resort. I had a really good time up there. I'll go back. I did not get the Icon Pass this year, taking a break. Steamboat looks fun. I drove through there once, off season. Park City Resort. This thing is huge. Did the Epic Pass a couple years ago, also through COVID. Huge resort, brings in massive crowds. There's enough space that it's not terrible, but you definitely find yourself in certain choke points where it's a bit much. It's a little harsh to judge during those COVID years. Dining was challenging and whatnot. I would go back, but I've met people at my hometown resorts that are closer to Park City Ski Resort and won't ski there because of the crowds. So you do get a lot of destination skiers that, God bless them. They're just not very good. That's okay. I was that guy at one point in time. But a lot of restaurants, tons of lodging, not hard to get to from the airport. Snowbird Mountain Resort. Snowbird is awesome. It is a very technical mountain. It's an intimidating mountain. This is up Little Cottonwood Canyon. I love Snowbird. I probably wouldn't take my family there. My wife and daughter, not nearly as much. I mean, they have accessible terrain for everybody, but it's really known for big, long, steep runs. They ran an ad campaign years ago that just highlighted their one-star reviews on billboards here. 1 star, too steep, and that was on a billboard, and it is hilarious. Beautiful views. The tram is fine. I haven't found trams. They're slow. They take a ton of people up, and it's accessible by other lifts as well. But it's iconic. It's cool to ride on that. I was up there, I think, on Super Bowl Sunday this last year. Not a lot of crowds. The lodge at the top is stunning. It was beautiful, clear skies. Snowbird is awesome, and I look forward to ski there many times over the next few years. Well, many years, hopefully. But the canyon, it's a pain in the butt. Again, parking is a challenge. This has been a huge debate in Utah on how to funnel the crowds up that canyon. They were closed this last winter with this incredible snow that we had. Gosh, it was multiple days they had to be closed. There was an interlodge, avalanche danger. But it's a great place to go. Got to hit Snowbird. Heard good things about Telluride. Have not been there. Deer Valley. Okay, so Deer Valley has often been mentioned. They even mentioned in the article that it's usually in the top 3 ski resorts in the world in the last 10 years. So it's kind of odd that it would be at number 9. I would agree with maybe the article is they joined in with the Icon Pass, which would be the only reason I was going to ski there. I think a regular day pass is about $225. It's super expensive. to get there. Parking is not great. They've got that main parking lot, and then there's another parking lot on the other side of the mountain, closer to Jordanelle. And then you've got transportation, public transportation. I tried that once. None of my buddies were going to go up. I was going alone. I said, well, here's the day. Let's go check out this public transportation. You park down at the Park City High School, and then a shuttle bus comes and picks you up. It was a little confusing for me which buses exactly to take, and so you had to chat with people. And maybe I made it more complex. I don't ride public transportation a lot, but got on a bus, got up there, skied, left. I spent well over 2 hours on the bus that day. Did not love it. Would not do that again. You're going to get up there, you're going to drive your car, get up there early enough to get a parking spot. Look, it's beautiful. It's well designed. People fly from all over the world to ski there, and for good reason. If you stay in kind of the main heart of Deer Valley, it's a lot of people that don't know how to ski. There's a lot of collisions. The lifts are kind of clustered going a variety of directions, so you have a lot of intersections. There's a lot of opportunity to run into people, and I've seen it many times. So we tend to try and isolate ourselves and look for the more challenging terrain, which doesn't get nearly as much traffic at Deer Valley. It's certainly a place to be seen. A ton of dining options. I mean, I think there's even an oyster bar at the top of one of the runs. It's a little low in elevation. Even during this last winter, there were spots where it was real sticky that I was not experiencing at other ski resorts. It's okay. I don't love it personally, and I'm not going to miss not going this season, which I'm sure that people are glad to hear that an Icon person won't be. Well, former Icon card holder is not going to be going up there, but you've got to check it out. Good place. Jackson Hole is a beast. I've only been able to ski there one half day. Again, COVID. We were there in February. It just snowed and snowed and snowed. It was fantastic, but we spent an hour and a half getting on the tram. They do the tram right. They really pumped it up. It was killer music. You get out there, though, out of the tram, and on our day, it was a storm at the top, zero visibility, absolutely none, and you just really had to follow those reflective, I call them dinner plates. No idea where we were going, and we just went for it. It's known for being incredibly steep, and it certainly is. The snow was so deep, though, it just really didn't matter. But visibility was an issue. I would 100% go back. I wanted to get there this last year with the Icon Pass, and just couldn't make that happen. But Jackson Hole, I think it's 5 hours. The driving up there can be a little precarious. You got to be careful. Okay, Alta Ski Resort. Alta is very well regarded internationally. I've seen it ranked as the #1 ski resort in the world before. It's very cool. It's got a great vibe. Movies have been filmed there. I had a great time up there. I love how you can connect between Snowbird and Alta if you have a pass that allows you to do that. That's pretty cool. I had a great time. Nothing negative to say about it. Again, parking. It's a long story. I won't wear it out. I did get a parking ticket up there. It was very confusing. I contested it, and I won. Parking's a pain in the butt in the Cottonwood Canyons. We're going to talk about that here in just a second as we move out of that area. Heard great things about Taos. Obviously, it would be great because it's on this list. Sun Valley. Now, I could talk about Sun Valley for a while, and I'll do so because it's a sister resort to Snow Basin. Sun Valley is really neat. It's very expensive. It's isolated. It's in the middle of nowhere. Billionaires live there, and I can see why. It's just really cool. It can be incredibly cold. The last time I was up there, man, it was scary cold and a little uncomfortable. But some of my best days on a mountain have been at Sun Valley. They do have nightlife, great restaurants. I would go to Sun Valley again. It's expensive, but we're talking about skiing. There just isn't cheap skiing that I'm aware of. Even if you go to our more affordable resorts around here, it adds up in a real hurry. Sun Valley is very neat. You can fly there. I don't know how much that costs. They've got a tiny little airport. If you didn't want to drive, it's a bit of a. The last time we drove up there, the weather was rough. That wasn't fun. Okay, here we go. This is what we were getting to. Now, Snow Basin Ski Resort. I actually look at this right outside my office window. Now, the blinds are all closed, so I can film this. So that's what I'm looking at, right next to my desk. This is an old dance hall in downtown Ogden. We got a restaurant here down below. This is a church right here. But this area up here is Snow Basin. So that's Mount Ogden. You can see we got a decent amount of snow. Obviously, this isn't going to stick. It's all going to melt and go away. But this is Snow Basin, overlooking Ogden. It's a very neat resort. Access. When the Cottonwood Canyons are closed due to avalanches, when the crowds are too great in Park City, everyone runs up to Snow Basin. I've met people many times over the years that's why they're there. We don't have those narrow canyons. You come up over Trapper's Loop, you ride along a ridge line. There's extensive parking, and it's easy to get to. I would recommend, though, have your passes ready to go before you get there. If you show up and it's even remotely busy, to stand in line and get a ticket, you're going to chew up 45 minutes, hour and a half. If you need to rent gear and it's a busy day, forget about it. It's going to be a giant mess. They can get overwhelmed. They are adding some good improvements to the ski resort. It's a fantastic place. I wish last season was, bar none, the best ever. We had outrageous amounts of snow, so much so there was a lot of areas we wanted to get to on regular occasions but couldn't. They didn't have a chance to get to it and service for avalanche mitigation. Excellent grooming. Snow Basin really knows how to groom their runs, probably better than anybody else. Deer Valley, last year too, they did not do all that great in my opinion, but we had so much stinking snow, it was difficult to keep up with. But Snow Basin really grooms their runs fantastic. I've been to ski resorts that don't, and smaller ones. You notice all of a sudden, man, they could do a lot better. But Snow Basin does great. They've got really good food. You get up on the top ridge on Strawberry or up on Allen Peak. You get a look down into the valley, Weber, Davis County. Look out to the Great Salt Lake. Beautiful views. It is getting quite crowded, though. But that's everywhere. That seems to be absolutely everywhere, except the next one we're going to talk about. It's exciting to see people come from all over the country and often all over the world to come to Snow Basin and to have it so close. From my house, I can be in that parking lot in 20 minutes. I can look out my daughter's window out the front of our house and I can see it for myself. Oh, they got blasted with snow, and it's going to be a good day to get up there. That's where my season pass is, strictly for Snow Basin this year. I'm putting I'm going all in on it, and so hopefully we get somewhat of a duplication of last year. On thinner years of snow, it's an incredibly rocky mountain. And you say, well, duh, it's a mountain. But no, I'm telling you, there are boulders and stuff that we ski on up at the top. You look at it in the summertime and like, we ski on this stuff? Okay, maybe that's the case everywhere or in a lot of places, but it's impressive. I love Snow Basin, and a lot of people do, and there's been some announcements for some development, then they've stepped back from that. There's no lodging at Snow Basin. It's one of the few places that has, nothing. There's nothing at Snow Basin that you can stay at. If there were any options to expand terrain, I'd love to see it, but I don't know that that's even a possibility. It's awesome. Okay, Powder Mountain. I'm a little surprised that Powder Mountain is number one on this list. Now, it's not because I don't love it; it's fantastic. It was recently or majority owned. God, I don't want to misspeak on it, but the owner of or the main owner, CEO, former CEO. I'm screwing this up. Netflix guy, Reed Hastings. He owns it. He's dropping like $100 million into this place. There was a previous investment group that was kind of weird and was doing some real estate development up there. Look, Powder Mountain, it's a weird place if you were going to live. It's kind of difficult a pain in the butt at times to get up there. They will occasionally have to close that road. There's one road up there. So it's got some similarities, kind of the Cottonwoods. Parking is fine because it's limited. You've got your season pass holders, which it's difficult to get a season pass, but they only allow the sale of 1,500 day passes any given day, and it will sell out very regularly. What that means is, being the largest by acreage ski resort in North America, it's over 7,000 acres, about to be bigger from what I understand. They're opening up some more terrain that will be by guide only. It's never crowded. Now the lifts are slow. They're all fixed chair except for one. And that's Hidden Lake, which is their only high speed. And the lines can kind of stack up, especially at the end of the day, because they kind of shut everything else down and then funnel you to Hidden Lake, and then you can cross over to the different parking lots. But if on a sold out day, you can have entire runs to yourself. It holds the snow really quite well. I've been there 5-6 days after a storm, and you still have untouched snow and powder in many cases. It's just fun. It's old, and you enjoy it for that. They do have night skiing, which is okay. It's not a huge area, and it's difficult to get up there, but it's cheap. I enjoy it well enough. There's another night skiing location in Ogden Valley, which I actually prefer, Nordic Valley, which wouldn't even stand a chance at making this list at all. But it's a cute little resort that they're doing some expansion on. It's going to be interesting to see what Reed Hastings does with the charm of Powder Mountain. Hopefully they'll always keep it somewhat limited. Quite frankly, they could open that up for more day passes and be completely fine. Powder Mountain holds a special place in my heart, though, because that's the first time I skied. I had friends and my wife. We had just gotten married a few months prior. They wanted to take me skiing. I said, let's go. We went to Powder Mountain. No lessons, no experience whatsoever, not even like roller skating. And we just rented gear, and out the door we went. And I've told everyone this story before, but my first ski lesson was just do it. Just go. Just do it. Just do the skiing, and you'll be skiing. It took me 2 hours to get down the first hill. It was terrifying, and it was painful. But I will say, by the end of the day, I didn't want to leave. I had figured out enough stuff to be somewhat safe, and that was 12 years ago. No, holy crap! I just realized how old I am. That's 22 years ago. Oh boy. Well, that hurts. That's a tough way to end this video. That really is painful. Oh. Powder Mountain is fantastic, and a place apparently you can grow old with, that I've just learned. Word of caution, this is dad advice. The road going up there is steep. I think it's a 6% grade, which doesn't sound steep if you don't know what that means. And I hope I'm saying it right so I don't sound like a total idiot. But coming down, if you've never driven it, you've got to downshift. You cannot ride your brakes the whole way. People die all the time. Well, every year or two, somebody has died because they wear out their brakes, they fry them, and then off they go, and it doesn't end well. So you got to be really careful and downshift. I've never had any problems. It's never scared me, but it is an intimidating road for many. Check out Powder Mountain if you can. Make it part of your trip. Hopefully we will get lucky with many days of great snow at all of these resorts. What a fantastic hobby to be outside and spend time with friends and family. I absolutely love it. If you want additional insights on places to go, things to do, what you need to be aware of, I'd love to give you any advice I can. And, yeah, make it a great season.